All right, good morning, traders. Can you guys see my screen and hear my voice okay? Yes, 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 yes. Good, good, good. Well, as you guys know, we have a brand new, we have a bunch of brand new people in here today for today's Q&A session. Just want to say welcome. This is something we do every Monday. This is a live Q&A session. It'll start around this time. Now, the live room typically starts an hour earlier. So Tuesday through Friday, we'll be starting the live room trading sessions at 8 o'clock. But on Mondays, we push it back a little bit because, well, it gives me some time and gives Charles some time to wake up. Typically Mondays, well, they were my off day before doing this, where I don't really trade on Mondays. I relax and look at them as being like a weekend. So I'll allow myself to get a little bit of extra sleep. Now, real important for you guys that are watching on the recording or that can't make it every week on this Monday live session. These things are posted each and every week. Go over to live sessions. There's two things you can click. If you actually, when you hover over the live sessions tab, you'll see a drop-down box that says Monday's Q&A. These are going to be really the Q&A sessions that we're doing now. So each Monday, this is going to be updated, or whenever Charles gets the recording up, it'll be updated and whatnot. However, if you click on the actual thing, the tab that says live sessions, you're going to be taken to a different page which has the live sessions of when we used to run the 12-week transformation a little differently. In the past, we would run it how, again, I would only open up a single module per week, meaning I would only, week one would only be reading a price chart. You wouldn't have access to week 2, week 3, none of that stuff. And each Monday was kind of like a training session, so it's a little different. Each Monday was week specific. Because we've changed the way we've done things to make it more on demand, knowing that you guys, you guys have said that you like it more when you have control over what you can learn. It's kind of open season. But my advice for going through the course, and I know that not all of you are going to follow this, but I'm going to say to you, my advice is you take 1 week at a time. You guys that are brand new, you should be on module 1. The only thing you should worry about this week is week 1 reading a price chart. You shouldn't be worried about Fibonacci, double tops, double bottoms, any of that stuff. The best way to progress through this course is by taking it 1 week at a time. Everything is set up in a way that each topic builds on the last. And if you want to progress the best, take it 1 week at a time and really master that in 1 week. So before you go on to drawing Fibonacci's and ABCDs and cipher patterns, learn how to read a price chart. I got an email the other day from a trader asking me if something was a valid cipher, and it was wrong. And if you don't know how to measure an impulse leg, if you don't know how to identify a swing high, a swing low, and outside return, you're not going to be able to identify these advanced patterns. And you're going to be picking legs that are wrong. You're going to be entering patterns that are wrong. You're going to lose a lot of money not trading the right way. So trust me when I say, take your time, go through week 1, master that, meaning go through it on the weekend. This is the course that a lot of the successful traders that come through typically take. They watch the video on the weekend. They come to the Monday Q&A with whatever questions they have about the video, meaning they'll watch reading a price chart on Saturday, Sunday. Monday, they'll write down questions that they have. Monday, they'll come to the Q&A. They'll ask questions and clean up whatever, whatever was missing. And then they take the rest of the week to simply work on it. And that means by themselves, taking a half an hour each day to scroll through charts, drawing new swing highs, new swing lows, stuff like that. In the live room, they don't worry about the Gartley patterns or the CTS trades or the double bottoms, double tops, all the fancy stuff we do in the live room, because the live room is going to get pretty confusing, guys. It moves at a very fast pace, and I trade a lot of different techniques in there, so it's pretty fast moving. If you try to understand everything, you're going to get lost. So my advice for the live room is focus on whatever week you're on. If you're on week 1, ignore everything I say in the live room except for stuff that has to do with structure, price action, and how the market moves. What week are you on, Jason? What week are you on in the training? You're on week 7, the Gartley pattern. So going off what I just said, why are you worried about money management yet? Money management doesn't come until what? Module 3, I believe, at the very end. Week 12. You're on week 7. You should not be worried about money management yet. Now, when it gets time, when you get there, I can answer questions you have on money management. Yeah, I will do it. Yeah, I will do it. My Q&A session is on whatever you guys bring each week. So whatever questions you have each week, I will bring out. I will do a Q&A on it. We have different members all at different places. You're on week 7. We have a bunch on week 1. We have some on week 12. Yep. So whatever you want to talk about, I will address. Now, I would do this first. Make sure you do this. Make sure you watch the video on week 12 on money management. Make sure you go to live sessions. Make sure you watch all the Q&A on money management, live session week 10, and make sure you do all that stuff first. Now, again, it concerns me a little bit that you said you have. Now, you said you're on week 7, but you've already watched this stuff on week 10. Again, the best way to progress through this course is not by skipping around. But yeah, if you have a question, I'll answer it. But aside from that, welcome to the 12-week transformation, guys. I'm here to guide you on your journey. We have many alumni that are still on the trade floor. We have many members that are towards the end and towards the beginning. Jason's example, right in the middle of it. We have many that are towards the end of their journey. Take advantage of these traders. They have been through the grind already. They have been through the ups and downs. They have also been through the struggles of learning and learning the hard way. Many of them have skipped ahead and had to take a step back. So pick their minds, use them as a learning experience. Yeah, Danny's almost done. Yeah. It may start off rocky at first, but it comes together. And when it comes together, it's a beautiful thing. All right, Jason says, I'm honestly okay with patterns. Are you okay with patterns? I've done 150 hours of back testing and counting. I just know the money management side will let me down if I don't master it, hence my question. Okay, so what is your question about money management? What would you like to know? And again, for any of you guys that are new, this is the open question part of today. So if there's anything that you had a question about, whether it be on week 1, whether it be on week 14, whether it be on just using the or navigating the software here or the trade floor, we can shoot them in. I just wanted to do that opening spiel to introduce you and hopefully guide you on the right way to progress through this course. But yeah, Jason, shoot your question. We can start with some questions on money management. I think I have my spreadsheet up already too. There we go. I don't know how we had a good weekend in Syndicate last week. I swear we got hammered, but it works. But no software available for Mac. Charles can answer that better than me. I don't think so. Most trading platforms aren't built for Mac in general. I know traders that use Mac computers, they often use like a parallel system where they're running Windows off of it. But I know the trade floor does not work for Mac. We are going to be to an all web or all desktop based deal. So it's going to be all web based. Jason's going to be introducing that, I believe, slowly over the next couple of weeks and months. He's got it built out, but we want to. Yeah, I'm not sure when. It's built out. It's not pretty yet, but it's beta version. So we gotta work through the bugs yet. So usually when we get something like that, and again, Charles may know better than me, but when we get something like that, we usually introduce it to say 100 traders at a time. That way we can work out the small bugs, and then we give it to bigger and bigger groups. And that's for, again, the syndicate, the trade floor you guys see here. This is all going to be going away. This is all going to be web-based. but it takes time. We build this stuff out ourselves. We don't buy it from a third party or anything like that. So Charles says the new trade floor is beta version in the office, and we will release to a few traders at a time to work out the bugs. So it's coming. Just be patient. Again, the worst thing, especially in the syndicate, we've got over 2,000 members of there, and we've got about 2 people on staff. Basically, Charles, OG, and Darren will handle all the emails. So when you test something new, and new stuff it's gonna have bugs in it, and when you get 2,000 angry emails at the same time, it's not fun for anyone. But as Charles said, you can use Parallels or Fusion. You can also just run Boot Camp straight off of Windows for you guys that learn Macs. I'm glad Charles is in here. I'm not a computer person at all. So, all right, what's the shoot in the question, Jason? Is this the right one? This is the my administration. Right? I got so many of these. Many issues right now due to the fact that I was introduced to MetaTrader with a third-party overlay by a company in London. I'm moving to Ninja, and I'm struggling with the actual functioning of NinjaTrader right now. So is functionality of Ninja. Okay, so what's the issue? What's the issue that you have with Ninja? Just getting used to it, getting past the learning curve, or what? And your problem was with the equity curve. You got to give me a question, Jason. You're not really the delta slowdown multiple. Okay, the delta and slowdown multiple. The delta is going to basically tell you how aggressive and how non-aggressive your money management is going to be. Yeah, you're saying stuff, but you're not giving me any questions here. But yeah, that's why I say we explain everything pretty thoroughly in the video trainings. That's why I say make sure you watch those first. But the delta is essentially how aggressive you want to be in upping your position size. So if you have something like, and you can look at an example right here. Right now, this is based off a $5,000 delta. If I were to make this a $1,000 delta, which would be very, very aggressive, you can see that it would rapidly increase the position size. We're up to 3 already by week 3, then we're back down to 2 after a losing week. 3, 5, 6, 7, 6, 7, 8, 9. So if you're having a really aggressive strategy and you really want to be aggressive with that money management, you want to have that delta as low as possible. Now, as you can see, there's ups and downs to that. After just 2 weeks of trading, you've already upped your position size, and look at this, bam, you've upped it just in time for a big drawdown. Well, now you're back down to 2. Now you're going from basically 3 to 5 in 1 week to 6 to 7, back to 6. So if you're now, luckily, we're pretty. This is our syndicate stats for the year. We're pretty consistent traders. We don't really go through big drawdowns. So if you're someone that has a minimum, maximum drawdown, meaning you're looking through your back testing numbers and over the hundreds and hundreds of trades that you back tested, you never really had a drawdown over, say, 10%. You can afford to use a very aggressive money management system because you know you're not going to give something back. However, if you're a trader that goes through big losing streaks, if you're a trader that goes through weeks that have 3% drawdowns, 5% drawdowns, realize that when you have a bigger position size, that bigger position size is for winning and losing weeks. So when you win, it's great because you're winning trading a 5 lot instead of a 2 lot. When you lose, you're also losing trading a 5 lot. So you're giving a lot back to the market. And you can very easily go from trading, again, trading a 2 lot and then bumping all the way, or trading a 5 lot, excuse me, and bumping all the way back down to a 2 lot because of one bad week. So your delta, of course, that's up to you. I would highly recommend you using a non-aggressive delta. The name of the game isn't about boosting that money as quick as possible. It's about survival. And the worst thing you can do is go backwards. The worst thing you can do is have 2 very, very good months of trading, up that position size, over aggressively up that position size, have 1 bad month, and then be back, back in the negative, back past where you started. A great example, say we come in here this week and we lose 200 pips. Right now we're at a 9 lot, right? Let's say we have a big losing month. Let's say we lose 200 pips in the month, or I guess this would be the week, but the week. I guess well we already bumped up. Let's do that. Let's say we have a 2-week drawdown. We've bumped up. Now we're turning that 3% drawdown into a 12% drawdown. That 3% drawdown into 11% drawdown. And you catch that bad streak, you're going to go down very, very quickly. So again, the delta just controls how fast or how aggressive, I should say, your money management is going to be. Is that does that help you out some, Jason? And the slowdown multiple, you don't need to really worry about the slowdown multiple. That's just the smoothing of it. But the delta is something you should be in control of. So then you said your sound's been cutting in and out, but hopefully. Gretchen says, how about Robert's back question? Sure. Robert says, hey, Kill, I'm demo trading the back pattern on a 240 chart, euro dollar. Just want to know your thoughts on the trade. Well, let me ask you this, Robert. And again, you guys are gonna learn. I'm gonna be a little tougher on you in here than I was in not the 12-week transformation, the technical trader workshop. Just please understand it, because I want you guys to do well. In all honesty, I do care about every trader I work with in the technical trader workshop, but many of those guys are phonies. They're just, I shouldn't say phony, but they're not serious about trading. So I'm not gonna put out a lot of effort in making them good unless they want to get good themselves. With you guys, I am. So I'm going to be a little hard on you, and just, it's nothing personal. I just want to see you be good. Now, the question is, what do I think about the bat pattern on the euro dollar 4-hour? Again, Robert, I'd like you to be more specific. What exactly do you mean by what do I think? My thoughts on the trade? Because again, my thoughts on the trade is, hey, it's a nice trade. It's that's like asking me, well, Akil, do you like the pound dollar? Oh yeah, I don't mind it. So try to be really specific with your questions. That way I can give you a real answer. Asking for my thoughts really doesn't tell me what to answer. So do you mean, do I think it's a valid bat pattern? Do I think it's a good trade for you to take? Let's add on to that. And that goes for anyone. It doesn't have to be Robert. It could be anyone else who wants to answer that or wants to ask that question. But I'll draw it out. We have our bat pattern looking like this. Let's just get rid of this, put this crosshairs back on here. We got our bat pattern looking like this. We've got an X to A, we've got an A to B, we've got our B to C right here, we've got our C to D coming down to the 886. And again, traders on week 1 shouldn't even worry about this. None of your concern. You haven't got this far yet. And Jan says clear on the daily. Yeah, daily or 4-hour, either one, yeah. Sorry about that, Jason. I know you're having issues. But yeah, it's a valid bat pattern. Yes, it is valid. Yep. Again, what are the rules for our bat pattern say? We need a 50% retracement for that B leg. We get that. C leg obviously is deep enough. As long as we don't come past this our A leg, as long as the wick doesn't come above our A leg, we've got a valid C leg here. And then we're looking for a completion at that 886, so 105.29. So yep, this is 100% a valid pattern. Not the smoothest pattern in the world. It's not the easiest to identify, especially when you go out to the daily chart, it gets a little easier. This is a much bigger pattern. Again, if we pop out to a daily, it's going to be easier to see. but a valid pattern nonetheless. Gotta get my microphone back. Michael said, what do you recommend using for Mac boot camp or parallels? That's Charles. That looks like a question for you. But seriously, for you guys coming in, I wouldn't even worry about advanced patterns. Guys, just all you should be doing this week, and I know it's slow, I know it's boring, I know you're gonna hate me for saying this. All you should be doing this week, let me get the DSR levels off here. All you should be doing this week is scrunching up your chart and practicing measuring swing low to swing high, outside return, swing low to swing high, outside return, stuff like that. And for you guys that need a little help doing that, I always recommend doing everything manually. I got a good question from a guy this morning on my blog, was asking me about, hey, Keel, how come, I asked Darren in the Technical Trader Workshop, how come you don't publicly give out the cipher results or the cipher backtesting data? And I said, well, because so many of you traders would just shortcut it. Let me ask you this, guys. If I gave you all of the backtesting data I had in the cipher pattern, would you backtest it yourself? And I'll get to your question in a little bit, Danny. Seriously, if I gave you every single piece of data I had on the cipher, all my backtesting results, would you backtest it yourself, or would you just go out and trade it? Be honest. I wouldn't go back and backtest it. Why? Backtesting is horrible. I would just trade it myself. But when you do that, you learn nothing from it. You learn nothing about yourself. You learn nothing about your system. You don't really gain a belief in it. So I'm always a big fan of doing everything manual. So for you guys that are on the structure week, go through it, take your line to draw it out manually. Now, if you need help, there's a few indicators here on Ninja you can use to help. And I think every system, every trading platform should have this, whether you're using Ninja or not. One is going to be the swing indicator. Again, go to your indicator box. Go down to the swing indicator. Again, it doesn't just have to be Ninja. It could be every quality trading platform should have this. But go to your swing indicator. You can play around with the strength. I like doing 13. I like doing fib numbers, and I look for the bigger swings. But add that on, and that's going to help you out. You can see it's going to post little dots of where the most recent swings are, and that's going to help bring your eye to those swing highs and swing lows. You can see swing low to swing high, outside return, right? Orange to green, outside return. That's going to help a lot with just identifying what levels your eyes should be looking to. Another one is a zigzag indicator. I'm not a real big fan of the zigzag indicator at all. But I know a lot of traders that I've worked with in the past, they've said this has helped them as well. If you put on the zigzag indicator, and I'll have to zoom in a little bit. Again, this will actually give you, can you guys see that the blue line on my chart? I need to get this bigger. Give me a yes if you can see the blue line on my chart. Yeah. The zigzag indicator will actually draw this stuff out for you. Now again, you have to play around with the got to play around with the parameters of it. And I'm not too familiar with the zigzag, so I'm not sure what would make it better or worse. I think O2, let's try that. Yeah, I'm not too familiar. Play around with it. This one will also draw lines on your chart to kind of make it a little easier for you to see the swing lows, the swing highs, outside returns, stuff like that. Again, I still recommend doing it manually, but if you're brand new, if you're really struggling identifying the stuff, the swing indicator which is the dots here, is good, and also the zigzag is good for just getting used to seeing it. And I would work it in a way where maybe on day one you spend it with using the swing indicator to zigzag, and you slowly wean yourself off, or try drawing it on manually first and then using that as some type of confirmation. There's one more too, and again, I don't really like indicators, but just from traders in the past, they've told me about these. Where is this? The pivot point. What was it called? It was some pivot point, higher high, higher low. I don't remember the exact name for it. I might not have it on here. If I remember, I'll type it into the 12-week chat for you guys. It was something where it actually draws out the word higher high, higher low for you on here. But you guys should be doing it manually. But those are a few to help. Now, Danny's question. Danny said, Akil, I have a few questions about risk reward on patterns, but I feel we may confuse. No, you can feel free to ask them here, Danny. Again, this is an open Q&A. We're no longer running it 1 week at a time. This is the topic. It's open Q&A. So you have the same right to ask your question than as everyone else does. So feel free. Plus, a lot of the newer traders, they haven't gotten to the point where they can really ask questions yet. They're kind of still wide-eyed, and it's pretty simple at this point. So hopefully it's making sense. But yeah, go ahead and shoot it in, Danny. All right, Danny says it's going to wait a while, so don't wait for me. What other questions do you guys have? Have you guys started going through charts and drawing out the ebbs and flows yet? Have you guys started taking your line tool and drawing swing highs and swing lows and physically writing them in? How many of you guys have done that? Robert says yes. Good. Vern, yes. Nah, Vern, you've been here for a while. Yeah, it doesn't matter what time frame you do it on. I would say the higher time frames, there's a lot less noise, as Jan wrote. When you get, I don't like minute charts. You go down to like 5-minute charts, you'll get a lot more data, but there's a lot more noise there just because of news and impulsive reaction. So a good chart doing on is daily 4-hour, but it's good. You need to train this skill, guys. You're gonna get so tired of me saying it, but you need to train it. It's the only way you're gonna bring your eyes to it. It's that reticular activating system. You've got to train it, and it stinks now, but eventually it's gonna pop out to you. And then when we get into stuff like trend continuation trades, when we get into stuff like advanced patterns, these impulse legs are gonna stick out to you. I practice on range bar charts when Ninja manages to load them up for me. Here's my advice with range bar charts. And for you guys that are unfamiliar, range bar charts are just a different type of chart. They look the same as bar charts, very similar to Renko charts, but they don't base price off of a time. So for example, if you're on a 15-minute chart, you're going to get a candle every 15 minutes. The range bar chart, if you're on say a 5 range bar chart, you're going to get a candle every time the market moves in a range of 5 pips. So if it goes 3 pips down and 2 pips up, that next pip up is going to create a new candle. And what it does is it gives a nice, it gives a much smoother look at price action because you don't really get the massive wicks and whatnot. So it gives a really good look at price action. The problem is you're unable to get a lot of data with it. So for you guys that are trading range bar charts, my advice is once you load it up, do not close that chart down. Do not close it down. Keep it up. As long as you keep it up, the data is kind of saved on there, and your Ninja will remember it. Once you close it down, it's got to do that whole grabbing the data process again. It just takes a long time to load up. So once you leave it up, or once you bring the data up, and you don't really need for trading wise, you don't really need over a few days. But once you bring it up, don't put it down. Gretchen says, haven't gotten my links password, but still will start immediately. How'd you get in here, Gretchen? You haven't gotten links to what? To the website, Gretchen? Huh. Okay. I'm glad you can make it in here. Yeah, it's no rush, no rush. Okay, guys, we got 12 weeks. There's no need to rush through everything, to anything. Yeah, that's surprising. It also could be. I mean, guys, realize I know Darren was home. He had a family emergency on Friday, so I'm guessing he's a little behind with stuff. I know a few of you were asking about DSR indicators and whatnot. He's probably, if he's in the office, he's probably working that out today. I see Charles writing in. Hey, Akil, I'm new to the Total Transformation. I have trouble. I'm having trouble deciding if it's still the trend or not when there are huge spikes in price. What does it matter in those cases? Well, here's the question. What do we know reverses a trend, guys? What do we need? If we have something like this, right? If we have something like this, what do we need to know to confirm this trend? Type it in, guys. What do we need to know to confirm this trend? Yep, we need a lower low, lower close. So if we get an instance like this, right? If we get a candle that comes all the way down here, if we get a long wick, and now it's kind of the question, the wick doesn't matter. We don't really care about that wick. We need to pay attention to where the candle closes. Do we close beneath previous structure? That's what's going to give us that confirmation of a trend continuation. So the wick may make the chart look a little choppy, but it's important we know what we're paying attention to. And in this case, it's the close of the candle is more important than the wick. For as far as structure identification goes. For trading, the wick can be very important. For you guys that saw the war room meeting this morning, Jason took a trade on what? Pound dollar 60 minute. Jason took a trade on pound dollar 60 minute where the wick can be very important. Again, one thing he was looking at was this. If I can, yeah. He's looking at the recent flow of the chart. We have our new structure low right here. We have our, technically we even have this if you want to chop it up some more, but we have our little consolidation right here. Boom, boom. We've got our lower low, lower close right here, correct? All right, give me a yes if you guys see this. We have our lower low, lower close right here at 175.58. Yes or no? Yes or no? Participate, come on. Oh, it'll help if I scroll my thing down. There we go. We have our lower low, lower close right here. We then come back up to previous structure, right? Our previous structure highs are right here, right? This is our last outside return. We get to that level, we touch it, nothing happens. Market fights through it, wick goes above it, closes below. 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 Sorry about that. I got the headset mic on, so I'm knocking the wire on this thing. But so we can use these wicks as ways to enter trades by just knowing how to read it. But this still comes with the same principles of knowing that, well, it takes a higher high, higher close for us to know that we're looking for a bullish rotation in this case. And even though we test our outside return, as long as we don't get that close above that level, we're still thinking bearish. Jason says, any idea why my video is cutting out? Maybe try a different what do they call it? Try a different browser, Jason. Try Firefox or Google Chrome or try different browsers. Sometimes that works. We have had the issue before. Yeah, and that's what I mean by entering next bar market after that confirmation. So if you were someone to say you were someone that was trading a trend and you wanted to get short. Let's see if I can find an example for you. Let's see if you want. Say you want to get short here. You're a trend following trader. Now, I don't necessarily. This is not a trading style, so don't go off and trade this, guys. But just using an example, we can even use this right here. Say you're someone that's a trend following trader. You're a breakout trader, I should say. And you're saying, well, here's our new structure low. You're waiting for a confirmation of that trend to the downside. You're waiting. You don't get it there. Bang, right here you get your lower low, lower close. If you're someone that's going to enter next bar market, this will be your confirmation candle, right? The lower low, lower close. You would say as soon as the close of this candle happens, and it's very important we wait for the close. As soon as the close of this candle happens, then I'm entering the next bar market. So your entry would end up being right here as soon as it closes. And you'd be involved in this move to the downside. Now, again, I don't recommend trading this way. I recommend trading on the pullback, but just using it as an example of what I mean by next bar market. And market means the type of order. You know, there are limit orders where you do something like this, where you put a limit order down there, and it says once the market hits that order, then you're filled. There are stop orders where you do the same thing, where you can say, hey, once the market hits that order up there, I'm filled. At market orders mean you're buying the market right now where it's at. So right now, dollar CAD is at 125.86. At market means you're just getting involved. Boom, right now, I'm long, like that. Yeah, waiting for the retracement is the right move. There's a breakout strategy you can use using a buy stop. It's not bad if you use the risk reward the correct way. I'm not a fan. I don't personally use it. I know Jason uses it. I don't personally use it. I'd rather wait for the retracing, but I'm not a true trend. I'm not a breakout trader. I'm not a trend continuation trader per se. So I have different things I look for. But it's not necessarily a bad thing. Is this a cipher right here? I think we've got a cipher. Let's get onto the 5-minute chart real quick. I didn't forget about your question, Denny. I'll get to it. I just have that shiny thing syndrome where I see something. Look at that. I see something and I get my attention goes to it. Look at that cipher pattern right there. Dollar CAD. Right at 125.80. Probably a good amount of profit in here too. Look at that. 125.80. Nice little cipher there. Shoot this into the syndicate real quick. I won't be too detailed with it, but tell them it's something we stumbled across while doing some training. Bull cipher at, what were we at here? Bull cipher at 125.80, 125.79. Boom. Anyway, back to our regularly scheduled program. All right, let me get to Danny's question. I know Gretchen has one as well. I can find yours, Danny. All right, Danny says, after going through some videos on YouTube, I noticed you trail stops when you trade big patterns. To be honest, it's kind of threw me off since in my mind, I thought you never trail your stops unless you were very, very close to your target one. I did notice you base it on structure as well, but I just want to see the bigger picture. Yeah, I think you're under the wrong assumption that I never trail stops. I actively manage trades, correct? Yeah, based on structure. If I have a chance to protect myself, I take every chance to protect myself as far as when trades are in progress. Now, most of the time you see that on structure-based trades. Pattern trades you typically don't get, unless they're pattern trades, you typically don't get a lot of time to trail stops because they just, the targets are so small. You're just looking for that 382 retracement. Nothing really happens, usually just shoots up to 382 or it fails on you. But every once in a while, if you're on a longer term pattern, you'll see it ebb and flow up just because it takes more time to get there. So say like a 4-hour pattern, you may see the market ebb and flow up because the pattern has to play out over days. Or a 5-minute pattern, you're either going to just get stopped out and roll down or roll up and hit targets, one or the other. But yeah, I don't trail stops based, when I trail stops, I don't do stuff like, hey, 10 pips below or anything like that. Everything is based off structure for me. You don't like to trade early morning at 2 a.m. No, I I have I have no I have no desire to wake up 2 a.m. I've tried that before. I know it's a very the London Open, the London Open 2 a.m. my time is the London Open, which is a great time to trade the markets. It's probably, I would argue that it's the best time to trade the markets. The London session is beautiful. A lot of the movement in the markets come during that London session, especially after everyone's asleep during Asia. For my own health and personal enjoyment, I have no I have no intentions of waking up 2 o'clock. Danny says also the fact that you got stopped out of Euro Yen. Can you go over that, please? Yeah, Euro Yen rolled over this morning, I believe. I don't have my data feed. I believe I got stopped out of Euro Yen. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I should go check that. I assumed I did. Where were my stops at? Maybe I didn't get stopped out of Euro Yen. Hold on. I'm pretty sure I did. I don't have I didn't connect my data's not up this morning on this computer, so let me just see where we at here. 8, 9. Yeah, 40. Yeah, 26.47. Yeah. Maybe I just missed it, but I should have been stopped out. My stops were down at 26.47. We had a what was this, Gartley pattern, bat pattern? We had this on Euro Yen from Friday. What's the question though, Danny? Was it about trailing or anything, or? But yeah, 2 a.m. I'm not waking up 2 a.m. I did try that before with a certain system. I tried to wake up every 4 hours to check it, and it just did not work well. Yeah, ATR. Yep. Gretchen says, last week on day one, we were looking for double top. While second top form, a wick went higher than the first top. Does that second top now have to close higher than the recent wick, or just forget about the close above the wicks of the first top? In order to have a higher high, higher close, Gretchen? Yeah, and typically in those situations, you don't end up having any type of trade. But you're saying, Gretchen's saying we have something like this, the market comes up, we have a double top. So our initial highest high is right here. We put in a double top where the market does, oops, the market does something like this. Let me know if this is right. Right, something like this happens. And you're asking, our next close, does it have to be higher than our original double top or our new structure high right here? Right, is that what you're asking, Gretchen? Which wick should we look at? Yeah, it would have to close above. This is going to be our new structure high because this is our new highest point. So it would have to be above this highest one. Because our structure high would go from, yep, it would go from right here to right here. See if I can find an example on a, yeah, so here's a good example right here. Say we're looking at the market coming down, and we're saying that this is our new structure. Nope, it would be right here. This is our new structure low right here. Market comes down, you see ebbs and flows, new structure low, outside return, new structure low, outside return. We come down, we create a we create a new structure. Well, we create a lower low, but not a lower close, correct? Before bouncing back up. If the market came back down to here, this would be our new structure low. Our new structure low would shift to this area. So this wick is now our lowest low. So we would have to break and close below that in order to have a new structure low. That's a very good question. Yeah, and Danny, here's the reason I didn't use an ATR stop based on this, excuse me, 113 stop based on this Euro Yen trade. Again, I have that personal rule where I can't have stops over 100 pips away. Our entry was up here, right? 37, something like that. Just see if I remember this. Our entry was somewhere at that level, 37. I think it was. See how my memory is. Yeah, it's right around 37. That 113 inversion stop would have put me above that 100 pip mark. Does that make sense? I got the feeling you're asking how come you use ATR instead of the 113? Yeah. So I couldn't have it here at down here. That's going to be 125. So my ATR was about 40 something, which put me, I think it was like 42 at the time, which put me right down here. Within my 100 pip area, I'd like to be longer than that, but you know, I was still about a little bit away. And then I ended up actually exited on Friday and reopened it after the gap. So I got back in at a very lower point and still got stopped out. So yep. I really thought getting back in, I got in at a lower level, and I thought that would make a big difference. I got back in at a little above the 127 level because we were basically at break. I think we were up a little bit on after Friday. It wasn't enough to put my position at risk of gaps. So I exited and I re-entered Sunday. I just got back late Sunday. But anyway. Yeah. I got stopped. Yeah, it stinks, but again, that's the money management though. I don't want to exceed that maximum risk per trade. I don't want to get in the habit of taking over 100 pip stop losses per trade because that's gonna, well, that could potentially, if I catch a big drawdown, that's gonna leave me in a bad place that I don't want to be in. So same thing with the euro dollar. I haven't entered the euro dollar trade because it's too big. I have my eyes on it, waiting for a different opportunity to get involved. But the euro dollar trade, going back to the 4 hour we looked at earlier, it's just too big. We're looking at bring this up for you guys. Euro dollar. We're looking at an entry down at, it's more of a daily chart trade, entry down at 105.29. If we're using a 113 pip stop, I believe we're looking at almost 150 pip stop loss, if I remember correctly. Might have been more than that. Yeah, 141 pips, which I can't personally do. Darn rules. But we have rules for a reason, guy. We have rules for a reason. So I'm hoping to get a different opportunity down here. It would benefit me greatly if this thing kind of rolled down towards structure, because this would be a big difference if we can get down here. You see, I can get down to 70 something pips, but we'll see what the market gods have in store. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, Jason. Charles is our IT guy. Maybe he knows. I don't. I'm not good with computers at all. So I don't know. When I see upload speed of 30 and download speed of 30 and upload speed of 7, that's like French. I do know. I went to speedtest.com once. I know I have a lot. That's about all I know. But yeah, if aside from changing browsers, maybe shutting some stuff, maybe you have too much running in the background, maybe. Those are the only things I can think of. I mean, everyone else seems to be fine, so I know it's not on our end. So I don't know. Maybe shoot Charles an email. He can help you out some. I don't know. Are there any other questions you guys have? We typically try to keep this for about an hour. And again, if you don't have questions in the first week, that's fine. You come to a stage where everything seems simple, and it should be very, very simple, very, very easy the first couple weeks. But when we start adding on to stuff, that's usually when the questions start coming. We get into the stuff like Danny was talking about ATR stops or trailing targets, or especially when we get to CTS or the double top, double bottom. Understand if you don't have questions, that's not a bad thing. Don't feel like you have to have questions. If you don't, it just means you're getting it. And if you do, that's not a bad thing either. My job here is to assist you with what questions you have. And at the perfect time to ask them is in the Monday's training, but also you guys have my email address. If you don't, it's akil@tradingpower.com. If you feel a little bit nervous about asking questions here or asking them in the live room, or if you're watching on the recording, of course, feel free to shoot me an email, and I check my email a few times a day and respond pretty quickly. Maybe not today. I feel like today's somewhat of an off day for me, so I'm going to go work on the garden and try to find some inner peace. I feel horrible after last week, guys. No offense to you, but the workshop takes a lot out of me, and I worked all day Saturday and Sunday at a track meet, and I came back with neck spasms, which I usually get when I'm stressed out, and so I need a day for me. I haven't had an off day in a while, so this is going to be it. Yeah, it's fun. Typically, me and Jason split it. That's how we keep the stress under control. Just like Turning Point, where I'll do an hour session and I'll take a break and he'll do an hour session. This time was just me for 3 hours straight. I'm like, oh man. Yeah, take it again, Antonio. This is why it's on demand. So please take your time, guys. There is no benefit in rushing through the course. There's no correlation in whoever finishes the course fastest becomes a great trader the fastest. No, typically it's the opposite. Those who rush through it go out and trade live and blow accounts because they haven't had the time to really build on the psychology and everything else. Those who take their time for it and say, you know what, we had a great gal, Elaine, who just got through the course, and she said, she told me before the course, she said, Kiara, I've got it planned out. So no matter what happens, no matter how long it takes me to understand this course, I'm not going to trade a live count for at least a year. She said, if I get through the course and I feel good, I'm going to go demo, but no matter what happens, I'm not trading live for at least a year. So she already had it planned out. And I'm like, that's great, because she has no temptations. She's still trading demo right now. It's going well, and she's not rushing into things, and have that plan. Because the best thing you can do is trade live when you're ready and just go straight into making to consistently profitable trading. then rush to trade live and then kind of go backwards and go through the learning process, but losing money in the learning process. That learning process is going to come no matter what, and we might as well keep our money safe while we're going through it. So, but you're going to hear that from me every week, guys. So just get used to it. Just like Jason says, he hopes he's not that annoying guy. I'm going to be that annoying guy to you. And don't worry, Jason. I was that annoying guy when I went to my training course. Those are the ones I remember. So I'm pretty sure I'll remember you. I know I'll remember Danny. Oh man, can't wait till Danny's gone. I know I'll remember you guys when you're done. And that's good. When you guys, I hope you guys stay in contact. When you do, I'm not scratching my head like, well, who's this again? What year? I'm like, oh yeah, Danny, yeah. So it's good. Ah man, taking the course again. Yeah, keep a note of that, Charles. We're gonna not let Danny take the course again. We're gonna put him on that. We have a Trade Empowered block list. We're gonna for people. We actually do have a block list for those who aren't allowed to partake in anything we do. Yeah, it's very hard to get on that block list, but like you cannot get emails, you cannot get into courses, to live training, and Darren's really good at that stuff. So stuff like fake email addresses doesn't work. We had one guy that tried to I'll leave you with this story. We had a free giveaway or something. No, it was the stupidest thing. We were doing a we're doing a technical trader workshop, and we're saying, hey, whoever signs up like the most friends, I think we gave away a trading computer, and this one guy just, he tried to create like 100 different email addresses and just keep signing up and just trying to get over the system, and we caught him, and this is the funniest story. The guy tried to fight it, and Darren actually had Darren had a picture of this guy's porch. Let's just say that. And he mailed him a picture of this guy on his porch and said, hey, do you really want to go down this path? We'll leave it at that. I probably shouldn't get into any more details than that. But yeah, that was pretty impressive. The guy backed down. I mean, you can look at IP addresses and all that. You can find out when someone, I don't know. Wasn't that serious? Yeah, Darren's like a super spy ninja type guy. He's don't mess with Darren or Jason. And now Charles is over there. So sure Charles has like 4 or 5 guns and destructive devices by now, just by affiliation. He probably signed a contract and gave him a gun. Oh, well, here's your first check and here's your pistol, Charles. Welcome to Trade Empowered. All right. Danny says, so we don't have access to the live room and trade floor after 12-week is over. No, I believe that's gone. You should still have access to the 12-week private chat, though, I believe, Danny. And typically what you can do is you get, once you're a training course member, you get stuff at a discount. I'm not sure if the syndicate's at a discount because it's so cheap anyway, but I know you get you get the course website there. I know you can get a discount if you want to stay in the live room or something like that. You may get a syndicate discount. I don't know. I don't deal with the money stuff. But you should still have access to the 12-week chat, so you can help mentor some of the younger members. We can subscribe to the live room though, right? That's how Keel earns his dollar. Yeah, you can. Well, you have live room. Live room's free with what you guys have right now. Yeah, you can subscribe with a live discount. Yeah, I don't. In full disclosure, I really don't make a lot of money off the live room. To be honest with you. live trading rooms aren't really big money makers, to be truthful. I do get a check off it. Don't get me wrong, I do get a check, but it's compared to other things, it's not. It's not really time for dollar. It wouldn't make sense if that was my main source of income. Let's put it like that. If the live room was my only way of earning income, say I wasn't trading or doing other teaching stuff, that wouldn't be enough to really do anything in life off of, for me at least. for me at this stage of my trading career, I should say. But yeah, I believe that's what we've done in the past, Danny. So I don't see why it should be any different. Typically, once you're a member of Trade Empowered, you'll get discounts for almost everything for life, as far as like training courses or live room stuff like that. But yeah, I encourage you staying there. It's great support. The last thing you want to do is it's a lot of eyes on the market. I really like having and I consider you an intelligent trader, Danny. You bring some really good ideas to the table. That helps me a lot too, because I have an extra eye on the market that I can trust. So it's not like a random guy typing, "Hey, Gartley on gold," and I'm like, do I really want to waste time going there? I know if you type something in, it's legit. So it makes life easier for me too. And it really, yeah, I really want to turn this into a virtual prop firm, guys. That's why I like keeping these groups small. We don't let everyone into the 12-week transformation. I like keeping them small, and I really like isolating the good traders because I want to have a virtual prop firm. I want to have you guys stay in the live room and have it be a place where we still have newer traders in there, where we still have traders that are looking to learn, looking over our shoulders. But I want to have a really core group of say 20 traders that are consistently profitable, that are good, and we can just rock the markets. That is my dream. Me and Jason do it in the syndicate. We've been making a killing. We did it with our mastermind group, but I'd like to have that on a daily basis in live room where, you know, I don't have to watch a certain pair. I don't have to watch Pound Aussie because I know Danny's looking at it and he can, whatever happens on Pound Aussie, he'll let me know. I don't have to, Jason could be watching the Euro Dollar pair. I can be doing the teaching the younger traders while you guys are having ideas. We can look at them, review it, and make some money off of it, and all be happy. That's my dream, but it takes time. I've only been doing a live room for 3 years, so it takes time to build that, build that type of I don't even know what's called dedication or build that type of environment, I guess. Um, but people that come through that are successful, and people that stay in it, it helps a lot. So we'll see. But all right, guys, good Q&A today. We're going to be in the live room tomorrow, 8 o'clock New York time. So an hour earlier than what we started today. Again, for you guys that are new, just my advice is to sit back and just take it in. It's going to move fast. It's going to move fast. You're going to hear a lot of terminology that may not make sense. It's going to feel like things are going 100 miles per hour. The learning curve takes about 1 to 2 weeks. So give yourself some time, and once you get familiar with the terminology, once you get once you get used to basically the process we run through every day, it gets very, very, it gets a lot easier to deal with. So until next time, plan your trade your plan. I'll see you guys tomorrow in the live room, and make sure you're out there training that RAS. Take care again.